A pleasure to meet y'all at last, and welcome back to Hot Wheels Hilarity Season 7. And so for today, we are going to be taking another little bit of a turn away from the usual action to bring you a couple new things to showcase. Yeah, it seems like over the past 6 episodes, I've been able to do a lot of moving around, trying to find out what new locations to use for upcoming content relating to HWH, as well as a lot of new debuts and introductions. I've had a lot of new sets added to my collection and tons of new models added, but now we're going to be focusing on something that's a bit of a mixture of the two. Models and sets coupled at the same time. This time, we're going to be having ourselves a few Hot Wheels rigs. And I've basically showcased some rigs before, but it seems that it's becoming more common nowadays. This is the Hot Wheels Lift and Launch rig, which is basically a truck that can haul cars. As you can see, there's a few preloaded in there. I'm going to take one of them out and just put them on the other side. But it can also turn itself into a launch bay, where you pull these up, and the car is basically going to scroll down here or down here, basically. This could be a pretty good starting point in terms of what layouts I could probably construct later on. And, well, first of all, normally I would wait until it's time for me to record an episode when it comes to unboxing, but I do have another one. And I actually did, in fact, just buy it last night. So, here we go with another rig known as the Stunt and Go rig, as you can pretty much see right here. It's basically a rig that can also haul cars, but can also transform itself into its own sort of stunt set, complete with a lube, a launcher, as well as a ramp for any car to land on top of. So, we're basically going to take this out, pretty much, and I'll basically show this to you on camera once I'm done with it. So I basically just spent the time to take this out of the box and also construct it so it could pretty much look exactly like how it should. And so this is basically the combination of a stunt track with its own integrated booster in the back that can click into place and then release with the touch of a button. There's of course a loop that comes in a couple pieces but then easily snaps together like that. Then you also have the front of the cab, which can actually turn into a ramp. That can also extend as a straight piece of track to allow you to choose whatever length you want. So, but the main point about this is that, well, it's a storage rig, much like that of many other rigs that I've gotten in the past. Even comes with its own car, a model of bifocal too, pretty much. So, in any case, I now feel like that both of these are pretty much well out of the box and all that. But now I feel obligated to pretty much try them out in full retrospect. So let's actually take both of these out to the usual location that I have and give them all a shot.
A few moments later.
Alright, so we have the rig set up. Well, almost all the way. So, as you can see here, the back just converts into the launcher, like I explained earlier. Then the front folds out into this nice little ramp, pretty much, which can also extend. So, what we're going to do, I got this little drawstring bag full of models that we're going to be using today. So, of course, I can at least show off how this thing works. The only big goal that I have set up exactly is how many models are able to cross through to the other side. Are they able to clear the gap successfully, or are they just going to falter through this big gap? I'm just having it set up here as default for right now. Plenty of models I have organized, including a few personal favorites. Yeah, I technically risk a lot of them by this point. It's also interesting to note that, well, a few models can actually fit inside the rig itself, which is pretty nice, especially if you're on the go and want to keep these things with you at all times. But we're just going to keep them out here for now. So this way, they're all organized and we don't have to worry about them going anywhere. So let's get started. Let's set up the launcher and get started with the... Okay, this one's the Hemi-Cuda. Well, okay. Cleared the gap, but wasn't really what we're looking for. So let's move on to the AE86 Sprinter Trueno. Wow, doesn't even go through the loop. Moving on to a personal favorite, Cruise Bruiser. Well, I suppose that cuts it. Now we have the 67 Chevelle. Pretty good, but doesn't make it. McLaren P1. Nope. Time to move on. The 69 Camaro. Yeah. Almost seems like everybody's gonna lose. But time to move on again. Enforcer. Yeah, it doesn't even fit in the launcher. Let's try this by hand. Yeah, not gonna work. Tigray though, let's hope he makes it. Seemed alright, but just couldn't really do it. Wow. And the Ford F-150 also doesn't turn out to be a success. Well, only 3 models left here. Glory Chaser. Whoa, just slid on his side. I don't know, does that count as a win? I suppose that we'll just leave that as is. But time to move on to the Mercedes 500e. Not to be confused with EV, of course. Nope, not really a loopster. Finally, Crazy 8s. Wow. And so that marks the end of this little test. 4 groupings of cars pretty much come together here. 5 of which have not done very well in the loop or haven't really cleared the gap correctly. These 4 definitely didn't clear the gap correctly. These 2 spun out of control. Meanwhile, that still leaves out Glory Chaser being the only one that technically got through all the way. Of course, it did slide on its side, but I do feel that that probably does count as a win to some degree. And with that in mind, this is it. For this episode of HWH Season 7, I'm especially proud to have this be a usage in my series. With that in mind, thank you for watching. Tune in next time for some more content.